Hi guys, I'm Rochelle and I'm a Ravenclaw, and today I'm going to be doing a Top 5 Wednesday video. Top 5 Wednesday is a series that was originally created by Lainey over at Ginger Eats Lainey. I'll link her channel down below. And Lainey has recently passed the torch over to Sam at Thoughts on Tomes. I'll also leave a link to her YouTube channel down below. I'll leave a link to the Goodreads group. And today's Top 5 Wednesday topic is the top 5 books that you think represent your Hogwarts house the most. Now, if you haven't guessed, I'm a Ravenclaw. It's in the channel name, my colours are on my face and on my body, and I said it at the beginning of the intro like I do every video. But in case you've missed it, I'm a Ravenclaw. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the top 5 books that I think most accurately represent my Ravenclaw house. The traits associated with Ravenclaw is intelligence, wisdom, wit, creativity, individuality, originality, and acceptance. A lot of people are going to be like, but Rochelle, acceptance is a Hufflepuff trait. I'm sure a lot of you are aware that Ravenclaw gets some pretty eccentric people, aka some of our most loved characters in Harry Potter, Luna Lovegood. So Hufflepuff doesn't quite get them all. So I've got a few more than 5 books here. I might be minorly cheating, but some of these I can't talk about without mentioning other books. So I'm just going to jump straight in to number 5. So number 5 is The Invention of Hugo Cabret by Brian Selznick. I'm pretty sure any Brian Selznick book could count, but this is the one that I own and have read, so I wanted to include this. Now, to me, the trait that this most displays from Ravenclaw is creativity. Now, if you've never read a Brian Selznick book before, they are a mashup of text, and then they've also got segments in them that are just illustrations. And the subject matter also doesn't hurt. In particular, the invention of Hugo Cabret follows Hugo as he tries to discover the origins of an automaton that has been left to him by his father. This is really cool. It's all about discovery and accepting yourself for who you are and not letting the rest of the world tell you how you should be living your life. So that's very cool. And coming in at number 4, I've got A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson. This book was actually recommended to me by one of my university lecturers. She is very into science, and I am very into science. And the title's pretty much self-explanatory. This is a short, quick history of nearly everything. It doesn't go too much into historical events. This is much more science focused, but the wit and humor that this is written in makes what could be a very dull subject very fascinating. So I'm just going to read a portion of the synopsis. A Short History of Nearly Everything is Bill Bryson's quest to understand everything that has happened from the Big Bang to the rise of civilization, how we got from there, being nothing at all, to here, being us. The ultimate eye-opening journey through time and space, it reveals the world in a way most of us have never seen it before. If you like your brain, if you like to learn, I definitely recommend picking this one up. And coming in at number 3, I've got one of my cheats, which is Mark Forsythe's Tenyon set. This is a box set, and they are absolutely gorgeous. This is a box set that takes you through the different Elements of language. So the etymologicon is a circular stroll through the hidden connections of the English language. So this tells you how a word came to mean what it means. The horologicon, sweet ass colour, is a day's jaunt through the lost words of the English language, and this talks about different words that have fallen out of usage, and yeah, just they can be really, really cool. I am very upset that some of these words have fallen out of favour. And the elements of eloquence is how to turn the perfect English phrase. So this is about sentence structure and crafting a beautiful piece of writing. And coming in at number 2, I've got The Martian by Andy Weir. For those of you that have read this book, it's not hard to understand why this is a book that I think perfectly represents Ravenclaw. The amount of intelligence and humour that Mark Watney shows in the face of what is basically certain death. Now, while I think Mark might lean more towards the Gryffindor, I definitely think that all the science and the wittiness and the sarcasm is something that Ravenclaws can really, really appreciate. And finally, at number 1, with an add-on honourable mention, is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. For those of you that aren't aware, this is my favourite series of all time. Quoth is a young boy who is ravenous to learn as much as he can from everyone that he encounters. And this story follows his life as he goes through university, as he tries to learn everything that he can learn and apply it accordingly. And with The Name of the Wind, I've also got the honourable mention of The Slow Regard of Silent Things, also by Patrick Rothfuss. This is a novella that I believe takes place somewhere in book 2. I'm not entirely sure when this is meant to occur, but this follows Ori. Ori is essentially the Kingkiller Chronicles version of Luna Lovegood, but we get to see things from her perspective, and we get to see how her brain works and how she functions. And it's, if you've ever wanted to be inside the brain of a slightly more obscure Luna Lovegood, who is just the sweetest person ever, I would definitely recommend you read the Kingkiller Chronicles and then pick this up. The language in this is very, very strange. It definitely embodies the creativity and originality and individuality that Ravenclaws love, but it can be a little difficult to read and then absorb. But the underlying poetry of some of these sentences is just exquisite. Alright guys, so those were the top 5 books that I think represent Ravenclaw the most. I would love to hear what your house is and what your top 5 books, or even just your favourite book is, that represents what you believe to be your house traits. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a magical day. Bye!